The funeral was held on a gray Tuesday morning. The kind of sky that looked like it forgot how to shine. A U.S. flag fluttered weakly over the coffin, and the honor guard moved with practiced precision, polished boots, synchronized rifles, ceremonial silence. Everyone was there. Officers, family, press. And John. He stood off to the side, alone. 24 years old, too young for the weight in his chest. His uniform was neat, but his shoulders slumped. His eyes fixed on the ground, hands fidgeting with a folded piece of cloth in his pocket. People noticed him, not with warmth. With judgment. He didn't even speak at the base ceremony, whispered one sergeant. Didn't even fire the salute, said another. Probably ashamed. He was there, wasn't he? John heard them. He always did. But he said nothing. He didn't salute. Didn't offer memories like the others. He just placed his hand, gently, on Darren's coffin. Held it there. Eyes closed. Lips trembling. The others thought he was weak. Cowardly. A silent stain on the uniform. But John's silence wasn't shame. It was memory. And it was about to tear open. It had been 19 days since that night in Kandahar. The mission was routine: escort a local convoy through a narrow dirt road, mostly farmland, light resistance. Until the third vehicle exploded. Darren was driving. John was in the back truck. Then chaos. Screams. Dust. Flames. Gunfire from the tree lane. Radio silence. Panic. Most ran for cover, returned fire, called in the coordinates. But not John. He dove forward, right into the smoke, toward the burning vehicle. He could hear Darren screaming, trapped under the frame. Another soldier was motionless beside him. There were bodies everywhere. John had no plan. No orders. Just instinct. He tore off his vest to crawl through the wreckage faster. He used his belt to tourniquet Darren's leg. He pulled two others behind the blown tire, using it as a weak shield. For 4 hours, John didn't move. He shielded Darren's upper body with his own when the second wave hit. His shoulder took shrapnel meant for another man. He passed out twice. Woke up to bullets landing inches from his boots. When the medevac finally came, they found him curled over Darren like a blanket. Darren was dead. But 3 others, barely breathing, were alive because of John. He never told anyone. Didn't ask for a medal. Didn't fill out the valor forms. He just asked. Did his family get the letter? And when the clerk asked what letter, John fell silent. He had written one. A goodbye, from Darren. Faked his handwriting. Because Darren had whispered, "Don't let my mom think I died afraid." So John made sure she never would. Back at the funeral, the mocking continued, quieter now, but still there. "Wonder if he even fired his weapon," someone murmured. "He froze," I heard. John walked up slowly, the folded cloth still in his pocket. He reached the coffin. Paused. Then pulled it out. It wasn't a note. It was a burnt silver dog tag, bent, blackened by fire. Not Darren's. The name was barely legible, PFC Luis Carver. Another soldier. One who hadn't made it out. One whose body wasn't recovered until days later, except John had. He had carried Luis's tag through the blaze, kept it with him because the family had nothing to bury. Now he placed it on the coffin, not because it belonged there, but because John knew someone had to remember. Silence swept through the field. The captain who once doubted him stepped forward, his voice caught in his throat. "You stayed?" John nodded, just once. And walked away. He didn't need the salute. Didn't need the speech. He needed them to understand, the quiet ones are sometimes the ones who held the line while everyone else ran. It's about the silence after. The kind that only comes when you've given everything and asked for nothing.